There we go. I don't know what the fuck was going on with my mic just now. That was weird as heck. I don't know. I don't know. The audio while streaming is always a nightmare. How's it going, everybody? How's the music? How's the mix? Should it be turned down? I hope this can help you buy likes for Grumbletum. Indeed, it can. Indeed, it can. I buy all my likes. You can't hear their music? That's odd. You should be able to hear music. This. Hmm. What if I turn it up a little? My sweetie certification expired last Thursday. Is it okay if I stay, or should I come back another time after I've worked it out? The state doesn't get to tell you whether or not you're a sweetie. You decide. No one decides for you. I got the money. It's still quiet, huh? Okay. How about that? How do you feel about that? How's that sound? I'm dressed like... So yes, I should address... Get used to seeing me in this hat for a little while. It's not a Tim Pool impression. And I need to prepare you because what you're about to see is not pretty. Those long time... Apparently you're calling yourselves slime babies now. Will know that I cut my own hair. And sometimes that leads to problems. And as you shall see, I warn the faint of heart to turn away now.
Yo, I've been a committed minion.
So it's real dysphoria hours. Can't look at that. Don't want to see that at all. So hat it is. I do refuse to take responsibility for the term slime babies because the thing is, YouTube encourages you to name your audience as a way to like extract value from them, and I think that sucks. So I've consciously never named my audience. But if my audience names themselves, I cannot be held responsible. Half expected the eyeball to be there. So this is the thing. In the video I'm putting out tomorrow that I filmed like right after I did this, when I put on the hat, I said, I should probably tell people this is not an eyeball zone bit because they will expect me to pull off the hat and there be an eyeball underneath. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that in those visual effects. And also I don't know what the eyeball zone is. I don't know what that means. So that's that. People who watch Thought Slang, that's pretty good. Little on the nose. With a Sharpie? Yeah, but, well, first of all, if I were going to do that, I would do it with something easier to remove than a Sharpie. But that wouldn't be fun. You know? Paint? Yeah, see, I had thought of that. Makeup, paint, anything like that, but... This music is a little sad for my tastes. Let's see if we can mix that up. How's that for a vibe? Grumble tumblers. No, that's pretty good. It's pretty loud. I can't win. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slimbo, you played Hollow Knight? Yeah, I played through a lot of it over on the Mega Slime Entertainment Zone. I'm reading the book Transformative Justice. Are you reading any books? I'm reading so many books right now. I'm still technically reading God Emperor of Dune, in that I haven't read any more of it since my honeymoon. I'm reading The End of Policing, and I just started reading Food of the Gods by Terence McKenna. Hey Jesse, thank you for them bits. You got to love bits. I totally understand hair linking to dysphoria. For what it's worth, I think you look great. Thank you, Carmine. It's one of those things where it's very funny that it happens, but I wish it didn't happen to me. Check out this guy who reads books. I mean, read is a strong word. Have I ordered from Highline since moving to Seattle? I don't actually live in Seattle. That was a joke about how Seattle is an anarchist jurisdiction. You see. What's tomorrow's topic? Tomorrow is a deep dive into whether or not Bill Gates is putting microchips in the coronavirus vaccine to track people. And you can probably guess where I land on the issue. He's not doing that. And I can pretty much prove it. Diet Coke branded video. I wanted Coke Zero. They gave me Diet Coke. Matt, what are your pronouns? Whatever you got. Give me. I'm just happy to have pronouns. You know. I'm the beggars can't be choosers. If people are referring to me, that's good enough. What's my favorite thing to do with flour? Eat it raw. All in one sitting. I don't know. The thing is, usually when I bake, I don't use flour. Or like wheat flour. Like I'll use oat flour or something like that. I can't believe you have to make a video on that. I mean, I don't have to. I chose to. I don't have to make a video on anything. Have you streamed in the black dress you wore on Scaredy Cats? I thought it looked great. No, I don't think I could handle that level of vulnerability. It is a very cozy cardigan. It's basically I have one sweater in rotation at all times, and this is my sweater right now. It's about as comfortable as a sweater can get. Did I have a good week? I did, actually. I had a very rough week the week before, but this week I've been getting up early, getting stuff done. Like I filmed I filmed the video yesterday, and that's very unusual for me. Normally it's the day before I release them that I film them. but I managed to actually film yesterday, and so that I just had to edit today, and that was pretty great, and draw a bunch of patrons. So I'm finally finished September's patrons, so I'm doing pretty good. I just came in and heard you say when I bake I don't use flour, but I thought you were saying flour, and I was like, whoa, I thought Simon's talking about weed. Well, I'll talk about weed. I'm not scared. It's legal here in Canada, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. I use one of these little disposable vape sticks when I want to get my weed on. Opinions on Nick Fuentes on TikTok and all that? I'm not entirely sure who Nick Fuentes is. I always get him confused. Is he like the outright, like, neo-Nazi that complained that ugly people were coming up to him and saying hello because it made the right look bad? Any plans on a video about how the idea of credit is totally out? Like credit as in like a credit card, or credit as in like crediting people for their work? Because I don't know about, like, obviously credit cards are fucked up, but crediting people for their work I think is fine. It's a very aesthetically pleasing weed pen. It's all right. The one thing I don't care for about it, and I don't know if you're gonna pick this up on camera, you can kind of see the juice in there. It's the only way to tell if there's juice remaining. Getting a lot of noise from the hat in my headphones. Credit score maybe? Yeah, credit scores are dog shit. And they're just a way to punish poor people and remove from them, you know, the ability to get things that they need, like houses and cars, and then punish them further for that. Yeah, you can see the juice. Opinions on free market environmentalism? How could such a thing exist? We playing any games tonight? Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was thinking I might play some Binding of Isaac a little bit later, just because I feel like a lot of times people get very frustrated if I can't talk to chat. So that's a game that I can play and read chat at the same time pretty easily. There's not a lot of games like that. Your videos are cool. Spend this on Bud Light Lime. I've actually never had a Bud Light Lime. Or a Bud Light Limerita. The margarita form of a Bud Light Lime. Although I love lime as a flavor. Would I like fan art? Yeah, sure. I'm always happy to see fan art. Do I play Among Us? Isn't Among Us all fucked up and like it doxes you now if you play it? Favorite YouTuber? I've been getting into this guy called Scaredy Cats. His videos aren't for everybody, but I like them. Which do you think is a better left-wing movie? Sorry to Bother You or Parasite? Sorry to Bother You, easily, not even close. I think that Parasite is very muddled as a movie. It's not even Bong Joon-ho. Bong Joon-ho did Parasite, right? It's not even his best movie, or his best anti-capitalist movie. Sorry to Bother You is completely explicit in its message, and I think, you know, that's good to see. I liked The Horseman. Oh, don't talk about Garfield Eats. It's too soon. It's too soon. Hey, Thought Slam, hope you're having a better day than I. What's wrong, Casey? Why are you having a bad day? That sucks. Well, you don't have to tell me also. Especially on stream in front of like 1,000 people. Sakura Trucker, thank you for the 99 cents. That's enough to buy one item off of the 99-cent menu. Have I played the new Amnesia game? So I played one Amnesia game. I think it was the first one, because my then girlfriend, now wife, she can't handle horror movies that are too scary. She's gotten better because she married me, but at the time she just couldn't. So we would often watch horror movies and she would get really scared and I would just sit there like, So the compromise we made is, well, on Halloween, let's play a spooky game because then we'll be equal because I can't handle that at all. And I played the first Amnesia for like 2 hours and fucking nothing happened. Do I mind people using feminine terms to talk about you? Absolutely not. I am very flattered. If I would be very flattered if someone were to do that. But it's just like, I guess it was a slow build, but it just like, I don't know, it was so boring. I was so bored. And like, it got to a point where I was starting to get like hints of the monster, and I would run towards the monster just because I wanted something to happen. So that's my review on the first Amnesia. I guess it must get scarier at some point. Yeah, I can do scary movies, but not scary games, because in a scary game, you have to pursue the danger. You have to go forward. It's you, and you know that's so much scarier to me. What do I think is Bong Joon-ho's best anti-capitalist movie? Snowpiercer is more explicit, I guess. It would be Snowpiercer. I haven't seen Okja, but I would say Snowpiercer, and I would even put The Host above Parasite, to be honest. The Host has a lot of very similar. It's very similar in subject matter to Parasite, but in my opinion, it's a better movie. I really enjoyed the first Clock Tower game. I've never played it. I didn't play it. How come? Did I ever finish Horizon Zero Dawn, or was it not your bag, a baby? It was, in fact, not my bag, baby. Sakura Trigger, sorry I stopped supporting you on Patreon, no cash. First of all, do not need to apologize for that. Anybody who needs to stop supporting me on Patreon, or just feels like not supporting me on Patreon, well within your rights to do that. You're not going to get any bad feelings from me. Secondly, if you don't have cash, save your money. Stop giving it to me. Sounds like you need money. Stop it. Thank you, but don't. Okja made me a vegan. I misread this comment. Okja made me a vegan, hungry for pork. See, I do not miss pork. That's the thing. I like a good old-fashioned chicken. Well, I don't like chicken. I mean, I miss chicken. Which is weird, because I didn't like chicken when I ate it, when I ate meat. But for some reason, chicken is the one meat I miss. Have I seen the movie Forbidden Zone? And if so, what did I think of it? You can't put into words the Forbidden Zone. It's like trying to describe, what a color tastes like. You can't do it. It's an experience. I'll put it that way. Did I go vegan? Yeah, like fucking 6 years ago. Did I see Hereditary? Hereditary was one of my favorite movies of the past 10 years, easily. Thoughts on other slimy YouTubers? Like, what do you mean by that? Like other like YouTubers who make slime? Does I don't watch a lot of those. Where's your cigarette? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can be a doomer. Alright. That's as close as I can get. How does he do his cigarette? Is it like good? The thing is with like a metal vape pen, you can't like dangle it off your lip. What did I think about the ending of Hereditary? I thought it was great. I thought it was it built to it, and out of context it's very silly, but I think in context it was scary as hell. My boy, do you let patrons know once you draw a doodle for them? No, not typically. I just put them in the video. But if people email me and ask for the drawing, I give it to them. Do I like Steven Universe? I do! Those aren't the moves? What? That whole third act of Hereditary is just indescribable. The thing is, it's like, it wouldn't work in any other movie. The cute Wednesday dress on the video the other week was A+. Thank you. That is my favorite dress. Yeah, it's just so flattering. Like it's such a good dress. Ari Aster and Robert Eggers need to team up. The world couldn't handle it. Although I'm told that Ari Aster says that his next movie will not be a horror movie. So I'd be curious to see what else he's got in it. Thassan, what's your ethical system? I don't understand the question. What does that mean? What's my ethical system? That feels like a question you would ask like a robot. What's the Wednesday video? It's a video on Scaredy Cats about the Addams Family. What's my unethical system? You can't do crime. Have I been keeping up with this whole election thing? There's an election going on? I think that I'm surprised that the Democrats aren't already adopting the language of count the legal votes, throw away the illegal votes. Because normally when the right says shit like that, libs just parrot it uncritically and say, no, we are doing that thing, and just like let them win that. Favorite power metal band? By the way, I love the haircut. That makes one of us. I gotta say, it's probably Glory Hammer. I gotta say. What's it like being old and needing to pee? It sucks. Why do you ask? I do pee quite a bit, which you might hear and think, oh, this fool's got diabetes for sure. What a fucking diabetic over here with constantly peeing. I got tested, but I don't got diabetes. Glory Hammer is good, but have you ever listened to Powerwolf? Oh, I've listened to Powerwolf. Powerwolf were quite good because they pretend to be werewolves, which is great. Also, Battle Beast is pretty good, and Unleash the Archers. Is peeing more as you get older thing? I think so. I also drink a lot of coffee. History revealed when. See, I don't understand this. I don't understand what's happening with the piss thing. Lately, it's more and more people ask me things that I'm like, I don't want to engage with this. This is some meme I've never heard of. I don't want to know why people are asking me about consensual necrophilia, and I don't intend to answer the question. What's your opinion of Mexico and supposed leftist president AMLO? I'm not really familiar with Mexico's president, but in terms of my opinion on Mexico, it seems like a nice place. I don't know. I've never been to Mexico. I've never been to the States, for that matter. Any other Fulci films you would recommend? What did I recommend by Fulci in the first place? I don't think I've ever recommended a Fulci movie. My thoughts are very smiley. Remedy? I think you meant to say slimy. And there's no remedy, there's no cure. You're stuck like this. But if you meant to say smiley, then you should definitely watch the film Smiley. It's about basically a ripoff of Slender Man, who kills people on 4chan, and he says, I did it for the lulz. And it's a really bad movie. And you probably also shouldn't watch it. Have I ever tried Kratom? I haven't. Though I have listened to Street Fight Radio, so you'd think I would. DS, are you more leftist than anarchist / libertarian, or vice versa, or roughly the same? I don't really understand the question, to be honest. I would think that by definition, to be an anarchist or libertarian is to be a leftist. If you mean like, do I really don't know how to interpret that. Are my plants edible? I think my wife would be mad if I ate the plants. And at least one of them is plastic. So. Which remake do you hate more, Black Christmas 2006 or the Snyder Dawn of the Dead? Snyder Dawn of the Dead, easily. I don't think there's any movie I hate more than that. DS, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? No. Nice to see you, Jack Nicholson's The Joker from 1989's Batman. Coup in Peru? Oh, that's bad, but it sounds fun to say. DS, what are some good names for plants? Tree, flower, daisy, weed, mushroom. I guess that's a fungus, not a plant. Did I see the quartering or no bullshit crying about Halloween Kills going woke because BLM will be an aspect of it? No, but that's funny. I guess they didn't see Halloween 2018 because it was pretty explicitly feminist. I'm using this stream to drown out the sounds of my ma'am having sex, and I feel like I need to pay for this vital service. Hey, well, you know, sometimes your mom can get it, you know? Good for her. Scaredy Matt, any thoughts on Thought Slime? Fuck that guy. Fucking imperialist dog. I'm surprised that chat isn't all about Peter Coffin drama. That's what I was expecting today. I thought it would all be Peter Coffin drama, and very few people are talking about that. Nobody cares about Peter Kaufman. Fair enough. Gonna water off again, but I hope you have a wonderful time and great rest of your stream. I hope I'll be feeling well enough to stream tomorrow because I'm playing a horror game at the moment. Yeah. Well, I mean, if, yeah, you should... What game are you playing? Thoughts on Shoe Nice? Man, I watched a documentary about Shoe Nice one time, and he like, it's funny to me because that dude is, it's fake. It's all fake. Like, everything he does is fake, except the alcohol chugging, which is real, and it's fucking weird. But, like, when he eats, like, a bar of deodorant, like, that's fake. And he's managed to make a living off of pretending to eat various things. I relate to that. Thoughtslime plays Resident Evil 4 when? Like, every couple of years. I love that game. How does it feel to be a breadtube neoliberal? Signed, definitely not Peter Kaufman suck puppet. It feels great because of all of the social capital that I have accrued, that I like to spend on attention so that I can have currency, you see, etc., etc. But I'm canceling you. I hereby cancel you for saying that, for trying to out me. You're canceled. And your life is over. And everybody who hangs out with you, I'm guilting by association. Thoughts on post left? Post left. You ask two post leftists what the post left is. You get 3 answers. It just strikes me as like people who are leftists, but like leftier than thou. If that makes sense. Honestly, the eye bags are such a vibe. I don't know why. I slept really badly last night, which is fucking weird because last night I like practiced perfect sleep hygiene. I got off screens at 10 o'clock. I didn't have any coffee past 12 p.m. I didn't eat anything past 8 p.m. And I sat like just listening to an audiobook in my bedroom in the dark. And then like I went to sleep at like 11. And I couldn't wake up. I woke up around like 11 in the morning. It was bizarre, and I'm still tired. I don't get it. Although I am a sleep apnea survivor, so that could be it. No thanks, bro, is still in my daily lexicon. RE4 for life. To me, the thing that is become a permanent part of my lexicon from Resident Evil 4 is, what are you buying? What are you selling? Thank you. Stranger. Gremlins or Krampus? Gremlins. Easily Gremlins. Though I like Krampus quite a bit. What is the deal with Peter Kaufman? Peter Kaufman they blocked a bunch of red tubers, went on a blocking spree because he's mad at everybody, and it's been a delight. It's been a wonderful chance to just breathe, because that person has been a real turd for a while, possibly forever, and I didn't want to be a drama llama, so I didn't say nothing. Probably should have a few times. Definitely should have a couple of times. And it's nice to just have that off my chest. Greg Lemire, thank you for the $1. Krauser is an asshole of a boss. I love the Krauser fight. That's one of the best fights in the game. But yes, I did recently get diagnosed with sleep apnea. I'm going to take a loner CPAP machine tomorrow to see if it helps. Is it just me, or is Ashley from RE4 essentially olive oil from Popeye? In what world? What are you talking about? It is just you. Is BreadTube just a big polycule? No. It's a term that refers to a genre of YouTube video. I got a CPAP machine and it changed my life. I'm waiting on the call to go get my sleep study. So you got the machine before doing the study? Because I did the study like a month ago. And they just got back to me like, yo, you got just a little bit of sleep apnea. Have I watched Memento? I don't remember. No, I did. I have watched Memento. I did. It's very good. Especially if you aren't getting enough nutrition or working out more than you are getting. What? I'm getting hella nutrition. I get so much nutrition, you don't even know. Yeah, I just got a scooch of sleep apnea, just a tiny amount. You just bought a sleep machine and you didn't even get the sleep study? I didn't know that was an option. Could disaster films be interesting without giant monsters? I personally don't think so. I think they can. Absolutely. I like a good disaster movie. What is the secret to being cool and not like normie cool, but online cool, YouTube cool especially? I am not the person to ask. I'm a lot of things. I am not cool. And then on cue. Hey, you're really cool. Thanks for being cool, you cool person. The timing is great on that, June. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. This is something I think like coolness is subjective, obviously, but you know, I think a big part of it is not getting like real worked up, and by that definition, I'm definitely not cool because I get worked up pretty easy. Especially on Twitter. Twitter sets me the fuck off. Let me tell you.
The official Garfield Eats Twitter account just liked my tweet making fun of them, lol.
Yeah, the Garfield Eats Twitter, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know. But we get, you know, now's not the time, you know, it's hard. It's hard. So you should switch to Parlor. There we go, that'd help. Be careful with sleep machines. I used it for a few months and developed a horrible pneumonia. Sidebar, side effect of Sirius or sleep apnea. Side effect of Sirius? Like the radio? The moon? Sirius? I don't understand what you mean. And I'm not worried about developing a pneumonia. Coffin is currently breaking down because of his association with the turf. Their association with the turf. If we're going to criticize people for turfliness, we should be very careful with our language.
Liberal content
But the meltdown started before that. The meltdown started with them just blocking a bunch of people, and then people were like, "Oh, you block all of these people, but you're still friends with Lemon Turf." And then Lemon Turf went after Curio real hard, and then it just got even worse. Advice for talking to girls? Again, I don't know why you would ask me this question. I'm not particularly suave in that direction. I would say treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't. Girls are not aliens. They're other people. So just talk to them the way you'd like to be talked to. You know, normally. Like, hey, how's it going? Boy, what crazy weather. I have a wife. Yeah, I have a single wife. One woman so far has agreed to marry me. Someone mentioned turf. It's about the principle. Not that kind of turf. We're all on board with the mycelium resistance. But I don't like to be talked to. Well, that's good. That might be a source of your trouble, right there. I don't know. Just like pretend you're talking to a guy if you get nervous around girls. You know. When did I get married? In September. Women famously survived by hearing words. I do believe that the mycelium resistance will win, and they've bought the entire shopping district, so they should be good. For those of you that don't know, we're talking about a Minecraft server like adults. Side effect of SSRIs, I see. Takes SSRIs to reduce anxiety, can't sleep because of sleep apnea caused by SSRIs. That makes sense. I am indeed on SSRIs, so. Whose perspective do you like the most in Hermitcraft? It varies. You know, it was Mumbo for a while, and then it was B-dubs, and now it's Grian. It's for sure Grian. I also like Exuma. But like, B-dubs I've been following for years. It's fucking weird to me how old his kids are now. My boner's better than ever? Congratulations! I'm glad to hear that. I stopped my SSRI so I could take psychedelics. Ooh! Don't know about that one! Would you make a video on the road to serfdom, post-war critique of Nazi Germany, but really CSSR that influenced my former position, right libertarian? Yeah, it's I haven't read it, but my understanding is that's Murray Rothbard, isn't it? I think that's the thing about SSRIs with psychedelics is they just dull the effect, right? Like so like, you know, you can still do them. You just might not get as much of a trip out of it. Do I enjoy indica, sativa, or hybrid? It depends on what I'm looking for. Hayek, not Rothbard. I got my libertarian cranks confused. Oh, I just remembered. I still need to do a video about the von Mises Institute. I promised that I would do that. Maybe I should make that a Patreon goal. I heard you basically wouldn't trip. That has not been my experience. Do a video about mushrooms? I mean, I already made a video about psychedelics. I would need like an angle. I am thinking about doing a video on like the history of drugs, like starting with ancient cultures and then going forward to like prohibition and the war on drugs. Oh, also, I think Caleb Mountain lives in my neighborhood. Do you live in Russia? Are you gonna make Burger King a playable sound clip for donations? It's playable for subscribers on Twitch. So it's very disruptive. So I tried not to make it every time someone donates, it goes off because we'd never stop hearing it. Loki, your vid on Sykes got me to try mushrooms and it was wonderful. I'm glad you had a good time. I hope you did all the research required. I hope you went into it not knowing what you were doing. But it sounds like, you had a good time, so who am I to say? I think it worries me that someone would take them on my recommendation because a lot of people, I think, go into psychedelics with a bad outlook and that makes them do dangerous things. So that's why I get like cagey when people talk about it. Are psychedelics legal in Toronto? Who's asking? No, they're not. They're not. Which is why I would never do them. Are N-bombs good? Yeah, if you like dying. They can kill you. So that's not great. Whatever you do, don't take ADHD medication and smoke weed at the same time. I mean, I'm not on ADHD medication. There's a chance, though, I ought to be. Isn't it just like a stimulant? It would be the same as like drinking coffee and having weed. I have nothing interesting to say, I just like your channel. I would argue that is interesting. I think people would be interested to find out that you like my channel. Don't take medical/drug advice from a YouTuber. Yeah, this is also a good point. Any new Know Your Fash episodes? My plans for Know Your Fash have kind of changed because I wanted to do like a new one each time, but there's so much shit going on with the Proud Boys right now that I'm thinking my next Know Your Fash is just gonna have to be an update on the Proud Boys to gloat about how right I was. For those of you that don't know, basically the the guy who heads up the Proud Boys paramilitary wing, the Legion of Alt Knights, is staging a little coup. A lot of that going around these days, and kicking out the current leader, whose name I forget, but he's a black Latino, I believe, but they're kicking him out so that they can be explicitly more white nationalist. And every fucking person that said to me after that video, you're calling them white supremacists, but their leader is, I think he's African Cuban. I don't know entirely. I shouldn't just guess, but everybody is like, how could they be white supremacists when their leader isn't even white? And it's like a month later, that guy is kicked out, and they're like, we don't need him anymore. We need to be more racist. And it's just, and I think that's gonna do them in, right? Because I think the only thing that the reason the Proud Boys are so successful as a group, and successful by that I mean like they don't get like they grow really fast and get defended a lot, is because they hide their power level and they can pretend like it's all just a silly joke. And the minute they get more serious, like that's it. They're done. I've never seen your channel, but you're on my channel right now, Demi Rice. Demi Rice, how is this possible? How can you have done this? What's up, comrades? Hey, did any of you guys also lose your YouTube channels yesterday? Why did you lose your YouTube channel, Vivinston? I didn't lose mine, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's still there. Ha 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 ha. I know it's there. Enrique Tario. Enrique Tario or Enrique Tario? YouTube was down yesterday. That's true. Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, or The Thing? The Thing. The Thing, baby! Pretty much any movie you put up against The Thing, I'm gonna vote for The Thing. Do we know why YouTube was down yesterday? It's probably because of capitalism. That's probably why. Why is it so easy for people to dismiss the Proud Boys but condemn Antifa so entirely? Probably because the media is going to go to bat against Antifa, but largely ignore the Proud Boys because the fascists serve the interests of capital. Fascists are the antibodies of capital. Their existence is for suppressing leftists, and that is useful to the people that control the media, which are rich people, by the way, before anyone accuses me of making some sort of anti-Semitic statement. It's rich people who control the media and the bourgeois. Capitalism. I'm gonna start saying it like that. I'm gonna add that to the rotation, Lily Chestnut. It's of words that I say wrong. For example, damani. Do I use a Bing? I don't. I do not use Bing. I regrettably still use Google rather than DuckDuckGo, which I probably should use. Is there a difference between a Trump supporter and a Tea Party supporter? Copies on me. Well, like, there's a temporal difference. I think that, like, the Tea Party largely died off as a movement and then became Trump's base. But no, I don't think there's a strong difference, to be honest. I think, like, at most, maybe Tea Partiers are, like, less rude, which is, you know, not to say they're not rude, they obviously are. And this is just like a, if I had to, like, in terms of beliefs, exactly the same. Like, fucking Sarah Palin endorsed Trump. Like, they're the same people. But, no, I don't think there's a big difference. Unless it's like a Tea Party you have with a little girl, that's very different. Although, my niece, for whatever reason, I don't. Nobody knows why she's doing this, but she gets really upset. She's 2 years old, about to be 3 years old. She gets really upset when people say that Trump is going to win the election, and like, her parents don't discuss politics around her. Nobody really is like, you know, they're not really political, but like, she's like, gets really upset and says like, no, Biden's gonna win. It's funny and cute. I'm ignorant to the whole bread tube term. What is that? It is, it's what you call YouTubers that are leftists when you want to disassociate yourself from them. Essentially. When you want to say that I'm one of the good leftist YouTubers, you just call all the rest of them bread tubers. My niece on my YouTube channel. Yes, my YouTube channel where I'm known for staunchly advocating for Joe Biden. That is that's what all of my videos have been about. What is a Kozia? I've never heard of it. How's it going, Slime? Need some cheer in the warm, cold time. What? Is this a poem? Did you write a poem for me? Of Daman? How's it going, Slime? Need some cheer in the warm, cold time. But it's not, it is average temperature now. Oh, well, I guess it depends on where you live, I guess. You're my new favorite leftist. Thanks for being alive. I did it for you, Bambi. It's the only reason I'm alive is for you. Because with Garfield Eats gone, you know, what else do I got, you know? I think everyone Cough and Cold to Bread Tuber should upload a video of them making bread. Yeah, I brought that up in the big group chat that we all have to talk about how good neoliberalism is and how much we like it, but people didn't seem interested. Garfield Eats is Dunzo? Oh, Garfield Eats is Dunyan Rings. Except the brand now lives on as a microwavable lasagna. So the physical location is shut down. It's the end of an era. In an anarchist society, how would we deal with more oppressive ideology, sexism, racism, etc.? They're very prevalent in our current society. The thing is, if we had those problems, it wouldn't be an anarchist society. If you mean like how would we deal with like a few individuals that held those beliefs, I don't think we have a right to like tell people what they can and cannot believe. I do think we have a right to say what people can and cannot, how people can and cannot express power, right? So if people are just sexist, you know, and they can't do anything about it, that isn't the same as like a culture of sexism that where women are kept down, you know? So I think partially the answer is more democracy and power, and partially the answer is education, and you know, and there's really not much else you can do. 'Cause I would turn the question around, really, because people always frame this as a problem unique to anarchism, but the thing is, like, we have all those problems right now, except they're worse because anyone who holds those ideologies could gain power and use that to hurt their targets, you know? So it would transitioning to an anarchist society eliminate those problems? No, of course not. Nothing would. But it would mean that like people would have less means by which to use those dangerous or oppressive ideologies to express power over people. Would be my answer to that question. I don't know if that's a sufficient answer, but there you go. Eat my money, eat it. I will transform it into Thai food that I will eat. You have my word. Love your channel. Thoughts on Persona 5 Royal? I'm against monarchy in general. I've never played a Persona game. It just doesn't seem like the type of thing I'd enjoy. When will Thought Slime be on the Moon Lord podcast featuring Best Boy Tim Pool? I know, I'm wearing the hat already. You know? They won't invite me on. They're scared of my dangerous ideas. I made an Obama video. Will you make a Trudeau video? Pardon me. No, not because Trudeau is any less deserving of criticism, or because I prefer him to Obama in some way, but because most of my criticisms of Obama, if not necessarily the actions he took, but the ideology he represents, also apply to Trudeau, and because nobody watches my videos if they're just about Canadian politics, so probably not, if I'm being honest with you. Meatball Machine Kodaku on Scaredy Cats when? You're not the first person to ask about this, unless you are and you've asked about it in multiple venues. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look into it. As a Canadian, can you explain what the hell is Nanalon? Nanalon is a puppet that communicates non-verbally. It's a show for infants that teaches very simple morality lessons, and it's one of the best things to get really high and watch. And I felt that way for like 20 years, and fucking finally the world is getting on my level, because I've been talking about Nanalon for years. Finally people are waking up. Who's my favorite lefty YouTuber after you, of course? I don't know. I don't know if I could say just one. And now in my head I'm like, oh, if I make a list, I'm gonna leave a bunch of people out, and that's gonna hurt. I like who you'd expect. H Bomber guy, the Sean Skull, Philosophy Tube, Large Joel, even though he's the world's biggest criminal, and he cheated me out of $6 through a fake election. Jack Saint, Curio, who else? Anarcho Pack, Libertarian Socialist Rants. I like a lot of them. Apologies to my friends that I've left out. I'm very tired. Thank you for your anti-landlord content. I organize in housing rights in North Carolina, and we need a lot more discussion about decommodifying housing here / everywhere. I agree. It's also great that in Toronto, there's a bunch of like flyers that have gone up of like housing groups that are looking to stop people, or rather looking to inform people about tenants' rights, and that's very heartening to see. Probably make a big eyeball video containing your recommendations. I've made 2 of those. And the eyeball zone, I typically step back history, and Tristan won't shut up. That's another 2 to add to the list. The eyeball zone is typically reserved for smaller projects, not established projects. That's the idea. Whatever the eyeball zone is, I've never heard of it. But you're the best bread video person. Burger King is on me. Thank you, the haunted specter. Would not all specters be haunted? Would not they all be haunted? Answer me. Said I'd like deliberately avoiding Contra. I wasn't avoiding Contra, she's just not on my list of favorite creators, is all. Is that okay? J Explosive Bloat. I don't understand this message, Black Corvo. People just want me to say things sometimes. I don't know what. Sorry for not paying. My gran just passed away. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry, I lost this message. Not paying. My gran just passed away. Her dad made a point of wanting a phone in every home. So go eat. As in 1940s labor voice? I don't understand this message. I'm very sorry to hear about your grandmother. The loss of Garfield Eats is a blow to the working class. We must seize it immediately. It's fucking... He's spoken like someone who's never eaten Garfield Eats. It is disgusting. Can you talk about Peter Coffin? Yeah, I've made some statements about the Peter Coffin and their inexplicable meltdown. But basically, fuck them. I rent 2 rooms to friends, $250 each, all bills included. Costs are $800 to $900 a month, including one guy eating his chickens. Is this bad or legit splitting costs 3 ways? I don't include mortgage and costs, that's investment on completely. That sounds fine to me. That doesn't sound like you're like, I don't know. Like, in all things, nothing is black and white in this world. And I think if it's just like, you have an extra room in your house and you're just like, I don't know. I don't think that's really landlording, to be honest. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think that's that bad. I think, like, if you bought a house you didn't intend to live in for the express purpose of renting it to people, but I think if you live in the house and you have extra rooms and you try and, like, not be exploitative about it, that doesn't, I don't know. Could be worse. My gran was old school labor in the UK. Her dad wanted a phone in every house. Is that like a thing that old school labor pushed for? Was everybody to get a phone in their house? Morals versus ethics. Landlording is not moral, but if you just own a house and you are helping people out and not paying into extracting profit, it can be ethically fine. Like all things, right? Like, there's a million, the expression exceptions make for bad policy or something like that. Like, you know, there's always going to be edge cases and weird things. Like, it doesn't, I don't know. I also wonder why people, like, are doing something and then they worry that, like, I'm gonna judge them for it. Like, I get a lot of messages from people going like, hey, I'm gonna get promoted at my job, but that will give me, like, hiring and firing powers. Like, is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, fucking, why are you asking some YouTuber, like, fucking, what does it matter what I think? Like, do you think it's okay? If you think you're doing okay, then you should do it. You shouldn't ask me. I think there's also a difference between being middle management at a company and, like, being fucking bourgeois. Like, you know. The music is fine. His mic is just quiet? My mic is not quiet. How dare you? How about now? There you go, with the neoliberalism acting like having a job is okay. I mean, I would prefer people didn't have to have jobs. What is up with Nova Scotia and the whites attacking native fishermen? Is this new? Why is it happening now? Where are the Canadian feds? Well, the last question's easy. The Canadian feds are in the crowds of people attacking the native fishermen because they're racist. It's like, as I understand the conflict, and I could be, I don't know a lot about it, so I could be wrong. There was, like, new rules put in place to protect the fishery because it was like the fish were dwindling, which is a situation we also went through in Newfoundland. And as a result, they gave out fewer fishing licenses, including fewer to indigenous fishermen who had been fishing that land. Like, they had like special exceptions and treaties and stuff. They should not be subject to these licensing requirements. And they protested that, resulting in a backlash that has led to like a horrible suppression and a bunch of angry white people smashing their lobster traps and shit. And it's disgusting and a national disgrace. Lobsters, yes, I did say fish, sorry. Did you find any new land? It is a very poorly named province. I'll grant you that. It's the oldest of the lands discovered, well, by Europeans on this continent. Lance is here from the Soifs, and I guarantee he has a more educated position on the lobster fishery issue. Micmac bought the lobster company, thought slime capitalism actually won this time. So like the Mi'kmaq people bought the fishery out so they can fish again? Do they get to fish again? Is it resolved? Wait, are you a Newfie? I am. I don't care for that term. That term is pejorative. My preferred term is Newfoundlander. Not a slur. People often accuse me of saying that's a slur. It's not a slur. It is pejorative. It's not a nice way to refer to it, but it's fine. People don't know. They own the lobster company now. They can issue all of the licenses. Excellent. Be kind to people, ruthless to systems. Hell yeah. I like that. Hey Matt, what do you think about Bermuda? It had no native population when the Brits discovered it. I have no thoughts on Bermuda. I've never been. I know nothing of Bermuda or their shorts. Canada's treatment of natives makes me feel so weird that it manages to market itself as super friendly and lefty. You and me both! It's infuriating. The issue isn't jobs existing, but them being required in order for the survival of every individual, even those who may be unable to work. Correct. Yes. Although I would say that, like, that's the main issue. But in general, like, the system of wage labor, in my view, is the problem, right? Like, that is one of the pillars of capitalism is wage labor. And there will always be a need for work. People will always need to work, but they won't always need to work for wages. And my use of the term work here is going to set some people off. Some people say that there's a difference between work and labor. And okay, yeah, by that standard, yes, people won't always have to work. People will always have to labor. You know what I mean. There's no need to split hairs. Person I just made up. It's called Malthusian Tube now. That's true. I love Malthus, and useless eaters. Is that the thing that I am always talking about? That I got called out on by Caleb? How do Canadian conservatives differ from the United States conservatives? It's a Canadian conservative is an American conservative on a 5-year delay. Everything that American conservatives believe, Canadian conservatives believe 5 years later. I will say that Canadian conservatives are very much like decorum lives, for sure. Like that is one big difference I think between Canadian and American politics, is that like Canadian conservatives still comport themselves politely, not kindly, but politely. Note the difference. because politeness is like way more important to Canadians, I think. Like Americans, I think, kind of like it when people are rude, like they think it's cool, but Canadians do not. And I stress the difference between kindness and politeness. Canadians are very polite. You're not necessarily more kind. I'm pretty sure Canadian conservatives would love to be as openly awful as American conservatives, but they just have to be slightly less overt about it. Yes, absolutely. But I don't think that anything any politician does is who they are. You know, it is what they believe deep down. Like they're all shaped by the circumstances around them and what they have to do to get elected. Will Canada have a fascism near miss like the US did in 5 years? Well, first of all, I wouldn't say that the United States missed it. And yes, 100%, yes. No, not a doubt in my mind. In the previous election, we had a nationalist party on the debate stage. Now, they didn't win any seats, which was really funny, but like, yeah, that sickness is here too. Most people's perceptions of Australia is kangaroos and boomerangs.
I really hate the election here going on because so many leftists here celebrating. Someone to the right of Trudeau getting elected. I think it's really frustrating to talk about all that as a native person.
I can't imagine. I think I missed most of that message. Yeah, I did miss most of that message. Twitch needs to have a better interface for this. Twitch, do better. Decent. I really hate the election year going on because so many leftists here are celebrating someone to the right of Trudeau getting elected. I think it's really frustrating to talk about all that as a native person. I mean, I think it's fine to celebrate Trump losing. I don't think anyone should be happy that Joe Biden is the one that got him out of there. Joe Biden's terrible, obviously. But, you know, there's very little to celebrate this year. So I think, like, it not being as bad as it could have been is at least something. If you use Streamlabs to restream, they have a console, and Restream.io has a pretty decent interface for organizing as well. Not in my experience. Triangle trains exist? Thought you'd like to know. Triangle train? How could a train? What? It doesn't make any sense. Like a train that's a triangle? Or the rails are triangles? Suggested readings to be a better human? I don't think you can read anything that makes you a better human. I would suggest instead meditation. I look very cozy today. Feeling pretty cozy. Wait. I thought for sure the answer would be Chopping Mall. Sparrow looks up, are you just setting me up here? Because you thought it was a bait and switch where I thought you were going to say Chopping Mall, but it's Killbots? Or is Killbots another name for Chopping Mall? Same movie. I see. one of my favorite channels when it comes to analyzing the issue of fascism. I made a video analyzing the psychology of fascism, and I'm very curious what you think of it. Well, in that case, what you can do is send me exactly one email with the word eyeball somewhere in the subject line and pertinent details like your pronouns, and perhaps you will find yourself trapped there in the eyeball zone. Whatever that is. Seeing Thought Slime without the super cheesy 90s slime graphic behind him, it feels too real. I don't know what you're talking about. Just because I'm not filming in the other room, which is where the big grate that all the slime comes out of. Good channel for background noise and LGBT love. Thanks. I just blacked out for a second there. Oh, I see. Mr. So-called Oculon. Real leftists want to avoid the eyeballs. Real leftists don't want to be damned to a nightmare dimension for all eternity. They're trying to get out of the nightmare dimension. What did you think of my perfect Caleb Maupin impression? Is it as good as his impression of Al Gore? Real leftist stateside. Have I ever seen Flesh Eater? I have not. Although the name alone, that sounds like the type of movie I love. I love movies where people eat flesh. Or anything eats flesh for that matter. A shark, a zombus. It was so perfect that my blood pressure went up. Tweeted the triangle train to you, hope you like it. I must see this triangle train. Because I don't understand. I know what both of those words mean. I don't know what they mean together. Let's see here. Will Wheaton. That's not a triangle train. Have I seen Wolf Cop? I have not. That's not. Oh, it's just a train. It's a Toblerone. That's a Toblerone train. I get it. It's just a Toblerone train. Here, I'll show chat. And then this is the Toblerone train. That's what it looks like. It's a pretty good train. It is red, that's true. That's it. The thing is, everybody wants the giant Toblerone, unless, like they grew up in a household of Toblerone escalation, where you tell your mother or grandmother one time that you like Toblerone, and then each year, as Toblerone makes bigger and bigger Toblerones, every Christmas you find yourself getting a bigger and bigger Toblerone, until it's so big that you physically cannot eat it. And you have to go vegan to stop getting the Toblerones. And if Toblerone ever comes out with some sort of dark chocolate option with no dairy, you can bet your ass I'm going to have to deal with these enormous Toblerones again. I have seen Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and my favorite detail of that was that they had Robert Englund as the Loomis type, the guy who fights the slasher. That nougat though, I care not for nougat. I have no. I mean, I do like nougat actually. Come to think of it, because I like Toblerone that has nougat in it. The true reason finally come out. Does Thought Slime is gay? How do I become as stinky as Think Matt? Not everybody can stink like this. So send exactly one message with the word Toblerone somewhere in the subject line and you might find yourself trapped here in the Tobler zone. Pretty good. Although I don't know what you're parodying. Send no more than one thank you email to Grandma. Is it like a little avocado rolling around on the ground? Or maybe it's a pear? Hard to tell. It's a pear. It's a pear. The egg ball zone. I think the egg ball zone is one of the funniest jokes I've ever made, in my opinion. Like I was so behind that week, and I was like, I'm gonna have to make an egg ball zone graphic. Do I have any pets? I had 2 cats, but I had to send them to live with my mother. For my wife, she is allergic to cats. What is the song playing? It is Babel by Pop Sky on Showtime 4. A purple cat. Oh, it's a guy. I see. Think you'll ever do something on education? I'm studying to become a teacher. I'm for education. It's my opinion on the matter. I think education is a good idea. Serious question, why do Canadians care so much about the debt and deficit? It's so pervasive here. Because people can use words like that to pretend as though they understand economics, and that makes them feel like big, serious money people. When in fact, it doesn't matter even slightly. And it's just a bunch of people huffing their own farts, and that lets them feel like serious thinkers, big, important guys. That's why. It's the same reason that American conservatives talk about that. Well, also, so that you can justify gutting social programs is the other reason. I really do feel that you would like the Neon Demon, but alas, I'm starting to feel you are deliberately ignoring my messages about it out of hatred towards neon or demons, or films where people eat eyeballs. I have not seen the Neon Demon. Nicholas Winding Refn films are not typically... on paper, they're exactly the movies that I want to see, and then I see them and I'm like, this isn't great. I don't know, I'll give it a shot at some point. Now back to ignoring your messages. Do you have any thoughts/advice on dealing with long-term contracts that you grow to find immoral, IG military service contracts? Well, I mean, if you've already signed the contract, there's not much you can do. I assume, like, I assume you were like a coder or something. or you're some kind of freelancer for a company that has a deal with the military. And so, like, you know, there's only so much you can do. I mean, you got to eat too, right? Like, but if you're in the power to make those contracts, you should probably avoid it if at all possible. But if you're already locked in, like, you know, fuck, don't go hungry. You know, it really depends on like what you feel like you can stomach. Last night I found out Troll 2 was genuinely scary. No, it isn't. Though it's because of Nilblog, it's goblin backwards. It's not a frightening film. It's they piss on hospitality, etc. You can conscientiously object in some places. So it's like a matter of like being in the military? Have I watched Blood Quantum? Oh, not only have I watched Blood Quantum, I did a whole video on Blood Quantum. Nice Krang hat, Stink Matt. Imagine explaining that sentence to your dad. That you said nice Krang hat, Stink Matt to somebody, and you're like, you didn't say it to be rude. It's just the thing you would say. Thoughts on The Cube? I assume you mean Cube, or is the new sequel called The Cube? I haven't seen the new sequel, or for that matter, Cube 2 Hypercube, or Cube 0. But the original Cube was quite fun. Everybody wants me to make a video about Cube. This is something I don't understand. What am I going to say about Cube? It is a fun movie. It's got a Star Trek actor in it. And it's all filmed in one room. I just got here. Did we talk about the mask blocking yet? Oh, we did! Cardigan looks so snuggly. It's a very comfortable cardigan. GameCube. Do you know what I like about the GameCube? Is that it has a handle to carry it around. To what end? Because you need to attach all of the wires to like a TV. Who is carrying their GameCube around? Do a video on The Void? Again, what am I going to say about The Void? It was a solid 7 out of 10. Is this Tim Pool cosplay? No, I did a bad haircut.
Non-flying animal that could just magically fly, what would you be?
Human that could fly. That would be a human that could fly. If given the choice, what animal that doesn't normally fly but would fly, I would choose human. Nothing like proprietary 1 GB discs that make like they have less capacity than other systems and more expensive because unique. Yeah, but it had Metroid Prime, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. I just want to play Metroid Prime. Also, those tiny GameCube discs, if you ever had to insert one into a Wii, that was the worst. Because you put it in the wrong place, you're breaking that disc. It's the idea of an entire video being Matt saying cube exactly once. Cube! Metroid Prime is imperialist. Real workers don't want to capture Metroids. Real workers want to uplift Metroids. Metroid Prime is a fucking great game. How do I feel about language as a legit axis of oppression? There are tons of ways capitalism kills linguistic and cultural diversity, and tons of ways having the wrong native language can hurt you. I mean, the English language or language itself, because I'm not saying we should reject speech and return to monkey, but I think there's definitely ways that language is shaped in oppressive ways. That, let me try a second pass at that sentence. I think there are a lot of ways that language is made oppressive, but and to the best of our ability, we should root those out and deal with them. Like a prime example is like they as a gender neutral pronoun. Like there was no singular gender neutral pronoun in the English language, so everybody just agreed, well, they works, so let's just say they. You know. Did something happen to Curio? Curio is being harassed by the lemon turf, and this has become a point of contention for Peter Coffin and the Shithead Brigade. Still stand lemon turf, and lemon turf has been like on a tear. Like she called Curio basically a child molester and a sexual predator for just being trans, and that's not great behavior, to say the least. And that's the type of thing that I think if you can't get on board with saying like, hey, that person is not on our side, you know, you're just a reactionary. If you want or think that our communities are improved by lemon turf, you are not a leftist, you are a reactionary. You serve the interests of power. I don't know her real name, it's Kelly Zahos or something like that. I think she must always be known as lemon turf. Advice on talking to my Jewish mother about Israel. On almost every topic, she is progressive, but her temple has her pretty well indoctrinated. I would say watch the film Gaza Resists. And if you can, watch it with her and ask her how she justifies that. I don't understand how someone who doesn't fall under the very narrow cis umbrella can still stand TERFs. Like everything Peter Coffin does, it is to generate outrage and attention so that he can, so that they can be the beleaguered underdog and say, oh, everybody's being so rude to me, trying to cancel me by association, and I'm alone and brave enough to take a stand. Have you read anything by David Graeber? And if you have, what did you read? I've read Debt, the First 5,000 Years, and Bullshit Jobs. Both the original essay when that came out and the book. Those are the only two things by David Graeber I've read. They're both great. Highly recommend both books. How can that be when they point out capitalist realism at the same time? It's a mode you can't understand. Whoever taught this motherfucker the word mode has a lot to answer for, I think. Not everything is a mode. There's... The elite bread tube cabal. Have I played Bug Snacks yet? I haven't. Do you think I'm gonna get a PS5? You know, fucking Hassan can't even get a PS5? You think I'm gonna get one? Can I repeat the film title? I think it's called Gaza Resists. I almost said Gaza, like a fucking Anglo jackass. Gaza. Convincing other leftist Jews to reject their Zionist upbringing is a struggle. Keep fighting. It's a... it's tough. Yeah. The work unfortunately falls, I think, more heavily on leftist Jews because I think leftist Gentiles are very not good at doing it, myself included, in that, even though, you know, my wife is Palestinian, so it's very difficult to criticize the actions of the Israeli government in a way that doesn't immediately read to Zionists as anti-Semitism. Thoughts on Lovecraft? I have no complaints about Lovecraft, and I assume he has perfectly normal social views. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a big sip of water. Just kidding, I know he's a big racist. I would have done a spit take, but there's no water in the bottle. There's a pamphlet that helps explain how to do it right, but I forget the name. Yeah. There is. You're right. Sorry. I will find the name of this movie. I thought it was Gaza Resists. Why do I keep wanting to say Gaza wrong? Gaza Fights for Freedom is the name of the movie. Can I explain the word reactionary? A reactionary is someone who their political outlook is designed around defending the status quo and reacting negatively to anything that seeks to disturb the status quo. Essentially, it means like people that defend the powerful, you know. I to be honest, I don't 100% know why that word means that. It has something to do with like reacting to new ideas with hostility, but I don't 100% know. I look tired? I always look tired, I'm told. Bread tube, more like block tube. Are you not on drugs? I'm not on psychoactive drugs. I mean, I drank some coffee this morning, but no, I'm not on any, I'm on some antidepressants. If you and Mr. Dapperton had a baby, would it be a mutualist? No. It wouldn't happen. I don't want it to happen. Are you familiar with the works of Franco Barandi? He's probably the single most influential author in terms of radicalizing me, but I've never seen him referenced by any other leftists. I'm not familiar. Can you show us a tutorial on accessing the dark web, Matt? No, I don't even know how to do it, to be honest. I mean, well, beyond like, I know that you download a Tor browser, but I don't know anything beyond that. It's a little dog. And it's doing like a 1. Raises and lowers his index finger to get noticed. They're very specific with these descriptions. Is QAnon a problem in Canada? If not, do you anticipate it growing? If it isn't now, then it certainly will be. And I imagine it is. I don't know specifically if it is. I don't like meet a lot of QAnoners. You'll occasionally see someone in Toronto wearing a MAGA hat, which is fucking weird because you're not in America. Like, what are you making great again? You could at least buy a hat that says "Make Canada Great Again." But I don't know if QAnon specifically is the thing here. Do I have a PS4? I do have a PlayStation 4. It's in the other room. It hasn't been plugged in since I moved into this new apartment. Because my new computer can actually play games, so it's taken away a lot of my reason to play PS4. Drove past a QAnon protest in Montreal. Well, there you go. Asked and answered. You have to find the .onion domain somewhere. Somewhere on the hidden wiki that the rest you have to find yourself. Yeah, it's the whole point, right? It's all hidden. That's the idea. The problem is sometimes people wear a MAGA hat and sometimes people are just wearing a red hat. So you end up giving them a stink eye when they're just wearing a red hat. QAnon is growing in Alberta? Of course it is. Of course it is. No offense to anyone from Alberta, but that tracks to me. Where is Thought Slime responding? What? I am here in my office. Make red hats normal again. I'm always sensitive to the plight of Albertans. I called Edmonton Canada's butthole in a video, and I got a lot of messages from people going like, that's not cool. I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's not. Have I ever played Death Stranding? I have not. I have not played any of Hideo Kojima's games. Have I played Spelunky? I have played Spelunky. I played a lot of Spelunky 2. I'm quite bad at it. Spelunky 2 is so fucking hard. I will now pee. This is what I will now do. I'm upset. I'm supposed to be fasting and I just ate a cherry tomato. I forgot. No sooner did I eat the cherry tomato did I remember I was meant to be fasting. Am I hunting any squatches? Not me personally. I'm not a hunter, I'm but a vegan. Everything come out all right? Oh, you betcha. Thanks for asking about my piss. Chat, let me ask you a question. Would you prefer we just hang out like this, or would you rather I play a video game, specifically The Binding of Isaac Rebirth? You do fast, or is it a one-time thing? I'm trying to get back into intermittent fasting. Thoughts on China? Gotta say it like that. It's one of the most populous countries on Earth, and is imperialist. I should do a straw poll. You're right, Lance. I'm always so lazy. So lazy when Lance. The thing is, Lance makes streaming look so easy. He's always got like a million windows open. He's always like switching between things. I'm like just sitting here and I'm too lazy to do a straw poll. See, he was trying to make one for me even. All right, here we go. Do you think improved means like within the Nordic system? Would it aid a revolution or hinder it? I think it'd reduce the risks of job loss fears, but my friend thinks it would result in complacency. I think it would absolutely help, in my opinion. There's the poll. You may now vote. Do a democracy. And I promise I will count it faster than... Talk is winning. That surprises me. Mods. Why you say mods? Did someone do the bad? Someone do a bad thing in the chat? Why no more video with the Surfs mocking Tim Pool? I'm still doing streams with the Surfs occasionally. It's just we've diversified our targets. And Lance, since you're here, I highly recommend next time we check out World Alternative Media, my current favorite person to make fun of. Was it hard switching to a vegan diet? Honestly, no, it wasn't. Finish the joke at Thought Slime. World Alternative Media? Why am I having such trouble saying this? World Alternative Media is a libertarian former YouTuber, now bit shooter, and he's incredible. No words can do him justice. He's the guy that had the Faraday cage for your nuts. In a previous stream, he had an ad for a product that was a Faraday cage for that protects your testicles from 5G. I love World Alternative Media so much. I want to open a BitChute account just to subscribe to him. Back in the day, they just called that a chastity belt. Yeah, he has this amazing outro where it's just lightning bolts going off. Faraday's nuts, that is incredible. Razgarth, excellent work. Well, more people say talk. It's 54% of people just say talk. How do you stay intermittent fasting without eating disorder thoughts? My eating disorder is largely under control. The way that I just try to eat as much healthy food as I can, and that helps me not feel like and healthy food itself is kind of a nebulous term. I just try to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of whole foods, and then just kind of trust in that. I have a fan art now. Where do I send? Put it on Twitter, and I will retweet it, unless it's rude. Mods for sleep make Thumb Slum talk more. How long am I streaming for? I don't know. Probably till 11. That's usually when I head off. You voted illegally? Yeah, but I threw that one out. I'm not counting the illegal votes. What if it's lewd? I mean, is it lewd in a rude way? In an attitude way? Oh my god, this chat is so fast. What was your favorite horror movie you watched in October? Mine was a tie between the new Suspiria and The Exorcist 3. Sadly, I did not watch a lot of movies this October, though I would say it Host, the Shudder original film that takes place in a Zoom call, was quite fun. Had a lot of fun with that one. And since then, it would be Lost Boys. Lost Boys is a whole hell of a lot of fun. I can't believe I didn't watch that until now. Calorie counting can get dangerous. Yeah, but I don't count calories. I specifically chose a diet that allowed me to eat as much as I want, as long as they're whole foods. And I try to follow an 80-20 rule, where if I eat good 80% of the time, then 20% of the time I can have a little fun, you know? Maybe I want to be on meat burger. I'm allowed to have it if I want it. You can't stop me. You're not my dad. The thing about the Lost Boys sequels is I ran a poll if people were interested, and the overwhelming response was they are not. I'm a Pinkerton watching your videos at work? Well, you can't stop me! Alex Jones could be a new Timcast regular, FYI? What do you mean? Like, Alex Jones is going to be on Tim Pool's podcast? He was? Word? Holy shit, I didn't know that. That's disgusting. He's on right now. Yikes. Split right down the middle? No, it was hardly. 55 to 44. Was shown your channel by another Pinkerton, funny enough? I mean, if Pinkertons want to watch my videos, that is thanks for the 5 cents. I don't think he's reading this chat. You mean Tim Pool isn't, or I'm not? If you pay attention to what makes food taste good and feel satisfying, carbs and salt. I think it depends. I get a certain satisfaction out of arugula. That's true. I'm counting the illegal votes as well. Garfield Eats closing. In a recent Cope stream, I asked Jack Saint about the McElroy Garfield abomination, and he seemed very concerned. Your pick? You talking about if I would prefer Pan Body Garfed or Garfed Pan Body? Boy, there's really no winning here. I think... Please set the parameters of the question. Because if it's... The way the McElroy brothers asked the question is, which would you prefer to have intercourse with? And in that case, it depends. You know, if I'm obviously neither. I'm married, you know, and also it's part Garfield, so that's an issue. But I mean, you know, it depends on the position, right? Why am I taking this so... Look, 9 out of 10 times I would say Garfed Pan Body, I think is probably the best you're going to do. There's no good option here. Did you see the drawing I did of You Thought Slime? Did you post it on Twitter? Because I'm not seeing it. Oh, I see. It's you drew an eye with the word zone. It's very good, but I don't get it. I don't understand what it means. It's very well done, and I'll retweet it. But I don't understand what I have to do with eyes or zones. Is this not the right one? Hold on. Must I open Discord? Oh, I see, yeah. Didn't you draw this a while ago? I've seen this before, I think. It's very well done. This is the drawing. I remember because I think I've seen this before because if it wasn't you, it was someone else doing the way you've done like the highlights with the like bright white. I saw someone else do that exact same thing. Maybe you've drawn another picture of me. So let me put that in the old fan art folder. Oh no, I don't have the fan art folder on this hard drive. I'll have to start a new one. New foldy. What is up, dog? It's a stream, you know how it go. Make a video on Falun Gong and the Chinese government? No, you can't make me. Nobody tells me what to do. Guy doesn't even use cloud storage. I've filled up my cloud storage. Do I have any opinions on fat phobia and capitalism? I think they're both bad. Hey, Whittlebug! Whittlebug, everybody go subscribe to Whittlebug. Previous I Will Zone inductee. Known user of hair mayonnaise. Twitch.tv/Whittlebug. Let's bully him, chat. You won't bully me. You have no power over me. Thank you, Lance. But by criticizing capitalism, you yourself are being fatphobic by being intolerant of fat cats. No, it's not their fatness that I take issue with. It is the fact that they are cats. No, wait, no, it's the extraction of surplus value. I forget because I'm secretly neoliberal. Cheers from Brazil. We're doomed here too. Love your videos. Yeah, but I heard that Bolsonaro he says he's not going to run again. So that's good, right? That's something. Also, I've recently learned that psychedelic mushrooms are legal in Brazil. So you got that. What are my thoughts on unionized gig workers in Ontario? Well, I'm beginning to explore the idea of forming a worker co-op. That sounds rad as hell. This is the first time hearing about this. Do I have any furry family members? Are you referring to pets, or are you referring to family members that are furries? In either case, the answer, as far as I know, is no. I had two cats. They're technically still my cats, I guess. But they live with my mother now. Are you in drugs? No. I'm not. I'm not in drugs. Is my mom a furry? Not that I know of. What music are you using? Is there a playlist? You have great taste in music. No, I don't. And it's from Pretzel, which you can listen to anytime you want at app.pretzel.rocks. It's just like free music for Twitch streams and YouTube streams and stuff. Also, chat, by the way, you all convinced me to get back into playing the ukulele, so that's been fun. I'm gonna get real good, and then none of you will be able to stop me. While being trans is not a mental illness, it is the mental illest. Yeah, like with the probably the way you would have said that is you would have said it with more intonation. The way I said it was kind of low energy. So it didn't come across as cool as it probably should have. Uke stream? I don't yet know how to play. I'm still learning. Did you finally tune it correctly? It was tuned correctly the whole time. I'm not having this. I will not suffer this. Miss Kitty Cat Gamer, your username always makes me think you were Susie from Game Grumps, because she had a channel called Kitty Cat Gaming for a while, until YouTube killed it. You're anti-Ook? I cannot yet play a song. Thoughts on pornography. The last time I expressed a thought on pornography, it made half of Twitter just furious at me. So you'll have to excuse me if I hold my tongue. Play a chord? The ukulele's not in this room. But if I was gonna play a chord, this is how you do it. That was C minor. RIPL non-Grumps shows on Grumps. Well, they're still occasionally doing good content, right? And a shuffle master. It's a good way to learn how to draw characters, like fundamentals and stuff. Any books or videos you recommend? Again, you're asking the wrong person, because I don't have a good grasp on the art fundamentals, but I'm told drawing from the right side of the brain is quite good. RIP, all the Game Grumps' former friends who died from being wacko racists. That's really just one. I always feel bad for being 30 plus but enjoying Game Grumps. I hear you. I think YouTube definitely thinks I'm a child, because most of what I watch on YouTube is like video game streamers. So occasionally it will just recommend like toys to me. Like you're probably what, like 8 to 12? Here's a new Power Rangers morpher, which, I mean, you're not 100% off base. I'm not gonna lie. Is Canada parliamentary, and how often do you hold general elections? So at least every 4 years, but in theory they can be called at any time whenever there's a vote of no confidence. So yeah, it's not as regular as it is in the States. Are you confident in the government? I am confident in no government. When did I duck out of Power Rangers? When it became Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers is when I was like, all right, I'm out. I'm out. Though in high school I did quite enjoy watching Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force. I'm a big dork. Yo, how fucking solid is the straw on that bottle of water? It's pretty solid. It's this is a blender bottle, so like it's like if I let me take it out. Like it's pretty thick. Like I have no money right. I don't have the money right now, but an answer would be appreciated. Any tips for trying to talk to QAnon believers? Very scared for some of my relatives. Don't know how to reach them. First of all, it's not your job to change their mind, and you're probably not going to be able to. But I think the best you can do is to come at them not with a sense of superiority, because I think one thing that sets off people like that is the sense that, like, I know how things really are, I'm smarter than you. So you have to find a way to like protect their ego in the discussion and make them feel like they're not dum-dums for believing in it. That's really the main thing. Beyond that, you know, you're not going to have much luck, to be honest, because it's going to take more than a conversation, you know? RPM is legit end of world Power Rangers in the best way. I never saw Power Rangers RPM. I haven't watched any Power Rangers since, I think, Time Force. They always feel weird about defunding police. I have too many guys I served in Marines or when I later joined Guard that are cops. They want their day to end peaceful. Yeah, well, a good way that you could make your day end peaceful is don't be a cop. Or do, because the overwhelming majority of police work is bureaucratic rather than, confronting criminals in the streets. The fact of the matter is, cops are bureaucrats with guns, you know? They always talk about, oh, it's such a dangerous job. It's not as dangerous as a garbage truck driver. You know. You're way more likely to be killed by a cop than a cop is to be killed on duty. Like, in the event that you're stopped by the police, not just a random person. But and I agree. I don't think defunding the cops is a good idea. Unless you defund them entirely so as to abolish them, then it's a very good idea. Quartering makes too much money on such low to quit anytime soon. Man, that chaps my grits like you wouldn't believe watching that fool make money hand over fist for nothing. You know he has an assistant? What does he need assistance with? He just sits in front of a web. He does what I'm doing now, and that's all. That is all he does. Isn't defunding / reallocating money better than nothing? Yes, but I would prefer that the talking point remains abolish, because if you make the talking point defend, then they go, oh no, that's too far. That's too far, we can't do that. So we keep our rhetoric hard left so that if they're going to compromise, they have to come meet us, right? Otherwise we play this game of just constantly making our rhetoric more appealing to liberals, and then they never have to compromise, and we continuously do. We're stuck with guys like the quartering until capitalism dies, aren't we? No. For long after that. Forever. There will always be guys like the quartering. Like, even in the event that he didn't need to do this for money, the fact that he gets attention and stuff like that, there would be people that would do that exact shtick just to get people to pay attention to them. And I would probably be one of them. Except I wouldn't be like, you know... well, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't be a bigot, because I don't think I'm in a position to say that I'm not a bigot, but I wouldn't be as bigoted as the quartering, surely. What's my favorite part of a bukkake, bro? My favorite part would be probably banning you from my stream, is I think the best part. Happy Transgender Awareness Week! Happy Transgender Awareness Week to you! Everybody go follow Trans 101, formerly Gushin. Now Trans 101, to teach you the very basics of trans. If you want to learn more about trans, go to Trans 101. Now that Biden has won and Antifa has overthrown capitalism, what are you going to do with all of your Soros bucks? I'm going to keep them and live in 2 enormous mansions like my hero, Bernard Sanders. My grift is complete. Hey, it's Zots. Everybody go follow Zots. Twitch.tv/Kamazots_alter. I know that one because he's often the only person awake when I'm done my streams, so I end up rating him quite a bit. I thought the mansion thing was fake. Yes, I was being facetious. It's one of the many jokes I like to make on that. Here on youtube.com/thoughtslime. What happened to Gushin's channel? She deleted it. Now she's got Trans 101. She didn't like her old channel, so she made a new channel. Caleb's streams are more entertaining. Look, there's no way to compete with Caleb's streams. He is more he is first of all a genius. His delivery, the way that he positions the camera so that he has to look down like this, like he puts it on his tummy and he has to look down on it. Genius. I would never have thought of that in a million years. The way that he just gets redder and redder, the way that he's a fascist, you just can't keep up. Don't you dare be a grifter or my heart would break? I mean, what would the difference be, really? No, you're not allowed to enjoy Caleb's streams? He doesn't want you to appreciate his genius? What Caleb Melvin wants is of very little concern to me. I found out that he blocked me on Twitter. It was just really funny. Which I don't really blame him for, obviously. But, man, what a fucking dork. So what would organic replacement to police... What would organic replacement to police to deal with organized crime and modern slave trade? What the fuck do cops do about that now? Jack shit. What this idea that like, well, if you get rid of cops, there's going to be organized crime. My dude, there's already organized crime. And you know that when the police were first instituted, do you know where they got a lot of volunteers for the first few police forces? It was from organized crime. Because they're natural partners, right? The idea that organized crime is a bigger problem in the average person's life than police violence. You know, like, you want to end organized crime? Here's what you do. Legalize drugs. Overnight. All of the dangerous drug cartels, like, completely cut off from their main supply of money. And that would also be a good way to help defund the police, because an overwhelming amount of their funding comes from anti-drug sources, right? Like trying to maintain the war on drugs is how they justify having all these fucking huge weapons and ATVs and tanks and not ATVs, APVs. Yeah, this is one thing that drives me crazy is people say like, well, how are you gonna prevent rape if there's no police? Do you think fucking police do anything? The overwhelming majority of rape victims don't even go to the police. And when they do, they're not usually taken seriously. You know, you go to all these places where the police have all these untested rape kits. Because if you wanted to design a system to protect rapists, I don't think you could do a better job than the police. Whew. I just got real worked up. Not sure what Impossible Whoppers cost at Burger King near you, but here's one on me. They don't got Impossible Whoppers here. It's Beyond Meat here in... Or I don't even think Burger King has a veggie burger. Well, they have a veggie burger, but not a good one like that. But I recently found a source on some Impossible Burgers. I'm looking forward to trying them out. I've never had one. I've had tons of Beyond Meat, but I'm told Impossible's even better, so... When's the last time you changed your mind on a what? I would say on the issue of guns. And it was listening to Robert Evans that really turned me around on it. I had a very... you look at all the gun violence in the United States, it's hard not to be anti-gun. But, he made some compelling arguments, and I've come around. I mean, beyond, trivial things. Like, I watched a video that changed my mind about Rob Liefeld. So, I don't know, If you legalize drugs, will capitalists turn them into a predatory industry? They already do, and... more predatory than fucking drug cartels? I mean, it's a tough bar to clear. Did you see how the Louisville police covered up 738 cases of sexual assault in their scouting program? Oh, fuck. That's a bummer. Jesus. That's almost... Holy shit, 738,000? Is that true? How do you cover up 738,000 sexual assault allegations? It does sound like a very big number. Do I have a favorite cocktail? Not really. Sorry to be basic, but a gin and tonic, I guess? It's pretty good. I don't drink a lot of cocktails. I don't like sugary drinks. And I don't like really boozy drinks either. I'll have just whiskey and Coke, because I can't drink brown liquor on its own unless it's a little bit. I could drink a little bit if it's really nice, but what whiskey? I just buy trash whiskey, whatever's cheapest at the LCBO. I can't afford good whiskey, and I would just waste it. It would be... I like nice whiskeys. I don't like a really peaty whiskey. If you're making a whiskey and Coke, just drink a Manhattan instead. I mean, it would be a whiskey and diet soda. What trash whiskey? I don't know, literally whatever's cheapest. Weiser's, Canadian Club. People who don't like guns should probably not get them, because anyone who gets a gun needs to practice in order to be safe and competent. It's not a magic wand of power. I mean, I'm certainly not gonna go out and buy a gun. Not the least because, you know, I can't. I live in Canada. You should make yourself a Biden? Still don't know what it is. Is a Biden when there's a good drink you want to drink, but it's sold out, so you compromise and buy a shittier drink? Please tell me you kept a bag from Canadian Club to use as a dice bag. It's traditional. I think you're thinking of Crown Royal, not Canadian Club. Crown Royal is more expensive, but just as shitty. If socialism worked, then why did Garfield Eats close? That's on capitalism. Right there. If you needed more of a reason to understand why capitalism is a problem, look no further. Brother would replace with police a more organic night watch or militia system. I guess night watch is closer to what I think. It would be like voluntary community self-defense is the term that I've used. It would be like rotating so that people don't have the authority permanently, recallable by the community and done by the community, so that it isn't just it isn't a body separate to the community that has power over the community. It is a body of the community that is answerable to the community. And people will often say, "Oh, well, there's civilian oversight in police now." There fucking isn't. There are nominally civilian oversight groups, but they do nothing. They are just there as like a release valve to defer criticism, so that we can say, "Oh, well, the civilian oversight board said it was fine, so it's fine." That's their entire job. The problem with volunteer forces is the worst sort of people love to volunteer for that sort of thing for the wrong reasons. Again, that is not a problem that is unique to this system, right? And the difference is those people are much easier to weed out if this group is answerable to the community, right? The difference is I'm not talking about handing a gun to someone and saying, now you are in charge, you are the one with power. I'm saying you are not given any authority, you're not given any power over people. You're given certain duties by the community. That's the difference. Just failed the math test, Dad? Look, I failed math tests. Look at me. You know, they made me, I think I've told this story before, they made me take, I failed out of math in grade 11 and they made me take advanced math in grade 12. I don't understand how that works. Serious question, what if not enough people want to do it? Then it doesn't get done. It's what situation are you living in where there's like an abundance of murders and nobody feels like doing anything about it? You know, like it's if people don't feel like doing anything about it, then it's not a priority for the community. Should we force people to do it? Like, it doesn't. It's such a strange question. Pizza is proof that capitalism does not innovate. Excuse me, stuffed crust with pepperoni. I don't know, being a cop is fucking scary. I wouldn't want to do that. What was scary about it? Is over the most cops will never pull their gun. Like I would say it's, you know, scarier to be in those situations without a bulletproof vest and the ability to call in, you know, 1,000 other armed goons to your side if anything goes wrong. Pizza Hut added Beyond Sausage in the States, y'all. Pizza Hut here has no vegan options. And it's my favorite of the fast food pizzas, and it's the only place I can't get a pizza. I can get it at Pizza Pizza, I can get it at Pizza Nova, I can get it from lots of other great vegan pizza options in Toronto, but not Pizza Hut. Rip Garfield Eats. I hear you, Swirly Swirl. Pour one out for the real ones. Does Pizza Hut still have the crust with tiny hot dogs around the edge? Yo, that sounds disgusting. I have a question, Thought Slime. Do you think bad people can redeem themselves? I mean, yeah. Doesn't mean everybody is obligated to forgive them. I think you know, there's hope for anyone, but like, whether or not like that matters to the people they've hurt is another matter. Have I been to Apocalypse Now? I have. I've heard really bad things about their labor practices, so I don't go anymore, but they have very good pizza. Have I ever done experimental politics with a Minecraft server? No, I have seen that Epoxy Cat thing where he does like an ANCAP YouTube server. And of course there's 2B2T, the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. Not the real ones in chat know what I'm saying. The one I used to get from Apocalypse Now is the pepperoni. It's like a thick ass pie. TS Patreon server when? We can build you some new shelves, Matt. You noticed that my shelf is gone, I see. I moved it to the bedroom. I don't know, would people be interested in a Patreon server? I have no issue with that. I can set that up. You know, what is a problem though is I'd have to get mods. Have I ever played Minecraft mods? I have. I played a lot of Feed the Beast back in the day. And Tekkit. To be 2T has more swastikas than Wolfenstein. Yeah, because like the whole idea is that there's no enforced rules, so people just come in and troll. I would literally subscribe to your Patreon to play it. That's the thing. I have a lot of patrons now. So I don't know how many people you can have whitelisted on a... Oh no. No, it's fine. I don't know how many people you can have whitelisted on a Minecraft server. When I wasn't doing YouTube, what did I think my career would be? Hobo. I have almost 2,000 patrons. So that might be an issue. I don't know, maybe I'd have to set it for a specific tier. Terraria is better than Minecraft? Fight me? I think they're not really the same. Minecraft is a better building game. Terraria is the better exploration game. And Terraria obviously has better combat and better boss fights, like not even close. But yeah, Minecraft I come back to more. Please tell me your opinions on Marxist-Leninism. How effective do you think it is? Effective at what? Like, they can certainly win revolutions. As far as instituting communism, they haven't seemed to pull that one off yet. What do you do when approached for money in everyday life by someone without a home? If I have money, I will give them some. Usually I don't have cash, and I always try to look them in the eye, because I heard somewhere that when you're unhoused, the worst thing is that people don't even acknowledge you. So I try to give them one of these. This is my move, right? Is that when they're talking to me, I pull one aside and I go, "Sorry, man." That's my move. Unless I have change, and then I'll give them some change. I had the weirdest experience with an unhoused person. A person I assume was unhoused. I was coming out of the grocery store, and it's a 24-hour grocery store, so it was like maybe 10:30, 11. And this guy walks up to me, and he's got a bag full of deli meats. And he says, "Hey, man, I got a proposition for you." And I take off my headphone. I'm like, "What?" And he says, "I got a proposition for you." And I was like, "Sorry, man, I don't got any money." He's like, no, I don't need money. I have a deal I'd like to make with you. And I'm like, I don't want to make a deal right now, thank you. And he, from his bag, like a shopping bag, he pulls out a bunch of deli meats. And he's like, I need you to go back into the grocery store and buy more of these deli meats. And then what I'm going to do, and I was like, man, I don't, like, wherever this is going, it's very obviously a scam. Like, I'm out. And he says, he looks at me and he goes, if you walk away right, and he's like almost in a threatening way, he goes, if you walk away right now, you're going to hurt my feelings. And I said to him, like, I'm comfortable with that. I don't know you. It's, you know. So I left. It was like, I'm like, all right, later. It was just the weird, like, yeah. I have no idea where that was going. I try as hard as I can not to be overly performative about it. Sometimes when I was homeless, people would make this really big thing about it. I felt obligated to be performatively gracious instead of just regular gracious. Feels kind of gross. So now that I'm housed, I try to be super chill about giving people cash. Oh, I try not to even break stride. If I have cash and I'm giving it to somebody, I try and like get in and out. Like out. If I'm gonna talk to them, because like people will do that like performative, gracious, you know, thankfulness, and then I just say to them like, I hope things get better. You know, that's the line. I just one fell swoop as I'm walking. There's some change later. Deli meat can't be returned, lol. I didn't know what was happening with this deli meat situation. He had so much deli meat in this bag. And like, whatever the situation, either he stole a bunch of that deli meat, or he was trying to convince me like he needed money when he has a bag full of deli meats. Like, why did you buy the deli meats? I like, there no good can come from this arrangement. Like, you're very clearly trying to pull a fast one on me, and I'm not interested. He probably was returning shoplifted goods. Because he wasn't asking me to take his deli meats in. He was, I don't know. Like, part of me will always be curious. That's the weirdest interaction I've had with someone on the street in a while. There was another guy one time that he just walked up to me. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he just walked up to me. He was like, "You want to buy some weed?" And I was like, "No, thank you, strange person." I just, like on the street at 2 o'clock in the morning. I would not like to buy drugs from you at this time. We have dummies. Who has dummies? You wouldn't let yourself be punched by the same guy over and over because you didn't want to see them as a bad guy, would you? Depends on who it was. I don't get punched as often as you might expect. I want to buy some weed. Here in Canada, you can just buy weed whenever. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the weirdest. So, the day after I saw the film Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, I was at a bus stop waiting for the bus. And this guy walks up to me, and he's very clearly nervous. And he's this big, tall guy. He's like 6.5 feet tall. And he's like shifty, and he's got his hands in his pockets, and he's like real nervous. So right away, I'm on edge. He walks up to me and he says, "Hey man, you got the time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't remember what time it was, but it was like, let's say 10. It was 10. And he's like, "Ah, cool. Yeah, does this bus route come here?" And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Hey man, do you believe in God?" And like in my head, this like guy who like I assumed was like a drug addict or a drug dealer is asking me if I believe in God. I'm like, oh, he's gonna mug me. Like this is what's happening. I'm about to be mugged. And he's asking me, do you believe in God? Like the way that they asked it at Columbine, right? Because they asked that girl if she believed in God, and then she said yes, and they shot her. So this is where my mind is at. And I run the options in my head. Because I don't. But I didn't want to say that. Because I thought that might set him off. So I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, that's good, man. That's good. You know, because like a lot of people don't realize that they're sinners, you know? And like, we're all just filth rolling around in the dirt. And it's only God, you know, that makes us pure. And at this point, I'm like, sure, yeah. And he just goes on like this for a solid 10 minutes, just talking at me like the most scary shit I've ever heard. And then the bus comes, and I'm like, well, this is my bus. Good talking to you. He's like, oh, I'm getting on the bus too. And I'm like, oh yeah? And he's like, and he gets it, and he goes, oh, I can stop talking to you if you're uncomfortable. And I remember I was such a shithead about it. I went, could you? Would you mind? It's like he scared the shit out of me. Like I thought I was gonna die. Like it's such like a, you know, like by the time I clued into the fact that like, oh, he's just preaching to me, like he's just like trying to witness to me, you know, I was like, oh, okay. But like, what a way to do that in the most fucking scary, like, he's a big guy, like I really thought I was in danger. Grim story, but growing up in an evangelical community, they used that Columbine story to condition us to be prepared to die for our faith. Scared the shit out of me as a kid. See, I feel like if I was God, and someday I will be, if people were like, you know, you believe in God, and because they had a gun to their head, I'd be like, yo, it's cool. I get it. Don't. Just tell them no. It's fine. I'm not going to be mad. Just say no, but cross your fingers behind your back. God can see. I once got, you're ugly, but God loves you anyway. Well, if you're ugly, which I doubt is true, then it's God's fault. What an asshole if he didn't love you because of that. One time I gave a guy $20 because he said his car broke down and he was crying. And he said he had to get home to his kids. I was like, okay, here's 20 bucks, go get a cab. And then later that night, he asked me if I knew where to, he found me, because I was going to, in St. John's, there's a street called George Street. It's where all the bars are, and I was going there. And he approached me that night, not recognizing me, and asked if I knew where to buy Coke. I was like, man, what are the odds? Because first of all, who looks at a guy like me and says, that guy knows where to find cocaine? Look at him. There's a guy that could buy some cocaine. I saw a guy asking for money outside of a bar one night, and then later he bought me a beer inside the bar wearing different clothes. I mean, we bought you a beer. Could be worse. One time, there's always people asking for money outside of the liquor store here, and this guy asked me like, "Hey man, could you give me some change?" I was like, "Sorry, I don't have any change." And he goes, "Well, you're going in to buy liquor," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use my debit card." He goes, "Oh, cool. Could you buy me a drink?" I was like, fuck. You got me. I guess like you have to buy you a drink now. Like, fuck. I don't want to, but what am I gonna say? No. No. You know? I mean, you got me. What did I buy him? He took advantage of this too, because he went in with me to make sure. Because I asked him what he wanted. He was like, "Oh, come in." And I said, "Oh," and he got I said, "I'll buy you a beer. I'm not going to buy you like a bottle of liquor." He's like, "Oh, okay, just one beer?" And I was like, "Yeah, just one beer." So he goes and gets a 40. So I ended up paying like $12. Should I join a Trotskyist organization as an anarchist? No. Straight up no. There's plenty of orgs you could work with. The Trots tend to be doctrinaire. That's like $3 to $4 here. Yeah, not here. It's not that I'm too nice. It's that people know how to appeal. It's that I'm a sucker is the thing here. Because they see me coming. They're like, this guy doesn't have the grapes to say no because he doesn't want to. Because all I have to go is, I get it. You think I'm just some drunk. And then I'll be like, oh, no, I don't. No, I'll buy you a drink. Is it possible to describe the ideal system of governance or lack thereof in 30 seconds or less? Would it be useful to have something like that to prattle off? I mean, from each according to their ability to each according to their need comes to mind. No one has authority over anyone else? You know, no one. There's a book I read a few years ago. It's not a great book, but it's called Order Without Power. I think that's a pretty good summation. What is a Trotskyist? Trotskyist is a miserable little pile of secrets. It's someone who follows the teachings of Leon Trotsky, who was a very famous Soviet war criminal. Last time I wanted to say thank you for being clear and concise in your statements. It really helps me. I try to be. I worry often that I'm being too fanciful with my verbiage. I feel like that kind of brazen manipulation wouldn't work on me, but I wouldn't know unless someone tries it. It works on me. I'm pretty easily manipulated. Trotsky destroyed the Black Army, filthy bastard. Yeah, and the sailors at Kronstadt. What about Trotsky appeals to the CIA? That they're fake synthetic leftists. Thoughts on Hamilton? It's liberal propaganda, but I kind of like the music, I'm not going to lie. Thanks for helping me grow my leftist knowledge. I want to become an activist, an active member of the leftist circle one day. I believe in you. Now's not a great time with coronavirus. Why do statist leftists or people pretending to be leftists like to call anyone they don't like Trotskyists? Trotskyists, like, famously are divisive. They're famously splitters. So anyone that appears to be like splitting or dividing leftist groups, or like trying to pull people away from other leftist groups, they assume is a Trotskyist in disguise. I get called a Trotskyist sometimes by off-left weirdos. I think people like Trotsky because he's perceived as being more intellectual than Stalin. I mean, I'll give him that. Given the choice between being a Trotskyist or a Stalinist, I know which one I'd pick. Do I play Dungeons or Dragons? I do. I play in a weekly game that's been going on for at least 2 years now. My DM is Tristan Johnson from Step Back History, and Tristan Won't Shut Up is the name of his second channel, not a statement I'm making regarding whether he should shut up. Favorite Hellenic philosopher is Diogenes, a Hellenic philosopher. The BreadTube Cabal should play Among Us. I would love that. What's your character build in your D&D game? Normally, so I have many characters in this game. Normally it's an arcane trickster, rogue, but he's currently in hell because he became a vampire. Oopsie daisy. And now I'm playing a sorcerer who's like a con artist. Sorry for that blank message, I'm drunk. I just wanted to say I appreciate what you do, and you've inspired me to create content of my own. Well, Connor, with that content, one thing you could do with it is send exactly one email to thoughtslameditor@gmail.com with the word eyeballs somewhere in the description, and pertinent details like your pronouns, and perhaps you will find yourself trapped in the eyeball zone. Whatever that is. Pray for me, it's 11 and I have 3 hours of homework to do. Who does homework? What just happened? Your stream blanked out for a second? I don't remember. Help me. You and other YouTubes radicalized me and now I can't stop doing kickflips. I'm not as radical as you. I can't even ollie. I skateboard like several hours a day. I can't ollie. I just do it to get around. You create such a positive community here. Thank you. Well, sometimes. I don't know about that. Favorite Chinese philosopher? I don't know a lot about Chinese philosophy. I like the Tao Te Ching. Beyond that, I know nothing. Some would argue that including that, I know nothing. What was the best time period on the internet in your view? I would say exactly as I first discovered the internet and spent most of my time on Pokemon.com. And there was a website called the Center for the Easily Amused, where I spent a lot of time as well. They had some fun games and chat rooms. New Demon Souls worth getting a PS5 for? I don't know. I never played the original Demon Souls. I've also never beaten a Souls game. I mean, like, with consoles like that, you should probably wait until the next revision, because if you buy, like, the first one, then you know they're going to come out with a better version. Please release a skate compilation video. There would be no point. Well, you're just going to watch me skate around. It's not interesting. I can't do anything. Did I ever try Control? I have not played it. Top 5 video games? The Binding of Isaac, Minecraft, Chrono Trigger, I don't really know what after that, to be honest. Maybe Red Dead Redemption, I like that quite a bit. Oh, Super Metroid. Have I ever heard of Postal 2? I have not, though I have recently have much reason to celebrate the works of Uwe Boll, who I know Postal 2 is the video game. He directed the film version of Postal, and also, perhaps more importantly, one time beat the shit out of Lotax, who definitely, in hindsight, absolutely deserved it. Have I played Night in the Woods? I have. I played Night in the Woods so that I would be ready when H-Bomber Guy made a video about it. And I would say that I did it. I got there just in time. Have I played Celeste? I have. I haven't beaten it though. It's a very good game. Have I ever spent a night in the woods? Yeah, sure. I've gone camping plenty of times. Which YouTubers do you subscribe to? I have so many YouTubers that I can go through a list. I have many YouTube accounts too, so it would take a while. You're at the library. What section are you hitting first? Honestly, probably the comic book section. What can I say? Lotex being incredibly awful makes me sad. Doomhouse is a very fond memory of some friends and I no longer hang with, and now it's not the same. Yeah, but Lotex was never the funny part of Doomhouse. It was Fragmaster was the funny part of Doomhouse. I think you would love the Japanese horror film Wild Zero featuring the band Guitar Wolf. I've been trying to remember the name of this movie for months, so thank you for that. I've been completely spacing on the name of this movie, but I did quite, in fact, I did enjoy it. Are you excited for DC Universe Infinite coming to Canada soon? Yeah, I'm over the moon excited for all of its great original programming, like Titans. I don't know what an MZT is, to be honest. Do you know any good Korean horror? Tons, buttloads. My default answer is The Wailing. Watch The Wailing. Not enough people have. Did I like Midsommar? I did like Midsommar quite a bit. I don't think it's as good as Hereditary, but I liked it a lot. Was the Eyeball Zone at all inspired by the episode of Best of the Worst, which featured the killer eye? No. First of all, I don't know what the Eyeball Zone is. Secondly, it was a very simple process. The original idea was that in lieu of having an ad, I would put in an ad for another leftist project, right? And I said offhandedly, do you have a project you need eyeballs on? And then people just started commenting, and I guess they thought that was like a funny phrasing. So I just kind of ran with it from there. And that's, it's very much influenced by a Canadian children's television block called The Zone that aired on our children's television network, our answer to Nickelodeon, called YTV. Just wrapping all the people in a YouTube chat suggesting you play Disco Elysium. It's a fantastically written RPG with a serious leftist commentary. I'm sure many of us would like to hear your take. Everybody wants me to play this game. I don't know if it's really up my alley, to be honest. I'm not sure it's the type of game I like to play. I don't know. Would it spoil it if I watched like a playthrough to see if it would be like the type of thing I'd like? So you do watch Red Letter Media, Matt? They are my problematic faves. I know. They got a lot of problems, but I do enjoy Red Letter Media. I recommend watching the slow burn horror movie, The Changeling, if you haven't already. I have. I watched it with a group of friends, and it was really fun to point at everything on screen and say, "That's the Changeling." I have a friend who I watched that with, and to this day, if we're watching a movie or something together, I will point at something and go, "Is that the Changeling?" I quit watching Red Letter Media after they went apeshit over Lady Ghostbusters. They were legit getting retweeted by Sargon. I deliberately did not watch that video, to be honest. I also didn't watch their review of The Last Jedi for the same reason. it would not spoil it. Oh, okay, I'll check something out and see how I feel. Excited to watch the new Green Knight movie? Finally, the Green Knight franchise returns to screens. You've waited too long, Sir Gawain fans. Gawain heads, we call them. Am I a goblet? I'm a goblin. The Ghostbusters review wasn't as bad as you'd think. Still bad though. I mean, I liked the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. Have I seen Renegade Cut? Yeah, I like Renegade Cut quite a bit. What is the best Star, Trek or Wars? Definitely not Gate. Trek, in my opinion. I've always been Gawaniacs. Oh, that's good. I've always been more of the Trek guy. That being said, I have not watched Star Trek Discovery, and I watched like 4 episodes of Star Trek Picard, and it fucking sucks. There are only 2 good Star Wars movies. 2 out of 10 is a fail. Yeah, the 2 good Star Wars movies are Return of the Jedi and The Last Jedi. Yo, to you, Patricio Garcia Damiano. Goblin equals hobgoblin equals gobbler equals goblet. Or I guess not equals, is what you're saying. So the opposite of what I said. Star Trek Lower Decks is so good. That is not what I've heard. I am familiar with Innuendo Studios on YouTube. Do Nazguls have something to do with the Vampire Castle? First of all, if you're going to name something that you don't want people to go into, don't call it the Vampire Castle, because that's the coolest shit I've ever heard. Thought Slime forever canceled for liking The Last Jedi. Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie that's ever been made. By a not even close. Bro, The Last Jedi was the worst Star Wars movie? No. No. Not in a world where the prequels exist. Start Discovery with season 3. I'm probably not going to watch Star Trek Discovery, to be honest with you. Although I am rewatching The Next Generation, and it's very good, very fun. But I watch it the way that I would watch Star Trek as a kid, which is I just turn on a random episode. The random episode I picked the other day, by the way, it was about it was a mystery where this ship had gone rogue in Cardassian space, and they had a Cardassian gull on the Enterprise, and it was played by Mark Alimo, who played Gul Dukat in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, but it wasn't Gul Dukat. And I was like, this guy sounds exactly like Gul Dukat. Am I just racist against Cardassians? No, I was right. Do I like Star Trek Voyager? I do not. Problem with Star Trek Voyager is that it has 3 good characters. Janeway, 709, and the Doctor. Everyone else is fucking boring as hell. And you can't, it's supposed to be an ensemble show. The rest of the characters, waste of time. Shouldn't be there. Do I like The Thing? I do like The Thing. It's one of my favorite films. Hard question. TNG or DS9? That is a hard question. I think depends on what you're looking for. I think all in all, TNG is probably the better show, but Deep Space Nine is the more satisfying story because it's more like a modern TV show where it's a continuous narrative rather than episodic, but it kind of started the downward trend in Star Trek of making everything morally gray and making all of the characters like kind of assholes. Like, I don't think Sisko is a good captain. What are my feelings on TOS? It's hit or miss. I like the original series. I don't love it. Have I ever seen the movie Ghoulies? I have seen Ghoulies, Ghoulies 2, and Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to College. The only Ghoulies films. I do not recognize the legitimacy of Ghoulies 4, as I call it, Ghoulies in name only, as it features none of the Ghoulies. Neelix is the coolest character? Fight me? Why would I fight someone who's very clearly experiencing some sort of emotional break with reality? Where's the Ghoulies Scaredy Cats? Ghoulies is part of the Thought Slime brand. I don't like to cross-pollinate. I miss Alan's Video for their amazing and trashy selection. Alan's Video is a video store in Newfoundland where you could get 7 movies for $7, which was an incredible deal at the time. Have I ever seen sleep paralysis? And have I ever had sleep paralysis and have I ever seen Shadow People? Yes to both. Not at the same time. During my sleep paralysis, I saw the devil and a wolf, respectively. Not at the same time, 2 different incidents. And when I saw a shadow person, I was just like coming out of sleep, and I saw a shadow person, and I got mad and tried to tackle him, and I fell over because I was mad that the shadow person was in my room trying to scare me. Scaredy Matt, will you watch a movie with us on stream one day? Not after what happened last time. Can you recommend a microphone for recording? I've had an idea for a channel for quite a while, but I want to make sure my audio quality is decent. Yeah, the microphone that I use for recording video is this one. It's by Power Device. It was $20 on Amazon. And since I've been using it, and I've been using it for like a year and a half now, no one has complained about my audio quality at any point. So worst lefty content creator? Scale him up. Well, he's not a real leftist, so that's not, that doesn't really count, I guess. Twitch supports stream sharing for Prime if everybody who watches has Prime, which is exclusionary but avoids the problems you experienced. Yeah, but like, so on Twitch, how many people are watching this on Twitch right now? 239 people are watching this on Twitch, as opposed to 700 on YouTube, right? So already I'm like cutting my audience into a third, and then of those people, how many of them have Prime, you know? So, and I certainly don't want to encourage people to buy Amazon Prime, but if you do, you get a free Twitch subscription. You can maybe toss that my way. Just saying, you don't have to. But, yeah. Favorite Stephen King movie and why? That would obviously be why am I blanking on the name of this movie? Maximum Overdrive. It's, as far as I know, Stephen King's only movie. It's the only movie Stephen King's ever directed, so it's a weird question. How do Twitch creators make money from subs? You get half of it. You get half of the money. Is it better to watch on YouTube or Twitch? It matters not. Watch wherever is convenient for thou. Favorite John Carpenter movie? The Thing. Pretty easily The Thing. I mean, I like a lot of his movies. You know, Halloween, They Live, and I think my favorite underrated Carpenter movie would be Prince of Darkness, which is outstanding and nobody's ever watched it. Though I haven't seen In the Mountain of Madness, or In the Mouth of Madness? It's called In the Mouth of Madness, I think. I haven't seen it. I heard it's amazing. Goof Trooper or Darkwing Duck? Darkwing Duck, naturally. Specifically because of his girlfriend, who was my first cartoon crush. Favorite member of the Fantastic Four? Ben Grimm, The Thing? Because he's from Yonkers. Oh, no, he's not. He's from Yancey Street. Mountain of Madness is Lovecraft. This is why I always get them confused. Dude, just dropping in. You been sleeping okay? No. I'm a sleep apnea survivor. Langoliers is a masterpiece. Isn't that a made-for-TV movie? It's a great idea. Great slime/goo in Prince of Darkness. Very fine goo. My first cartoon crush was Egon from The Real Ghostbusters, and I stand by it. I used to love his pompadour with a rat tail as a kid. You have plants. What are your babies? They're my wife's plants. I know not of the plants' names. There's a cactus. I don't know if you can see it. The cactus is mine. His name is Gordon. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what this ASCII is meant to be. Oh, it's a... Cool. That's one of your classic goatsies. To me, goatsy is like an old friend, but other people here aren't gonna like it, so that's a ban. To me, like, I grew up on something else, but you think you're gonna bother me with a goatsy? You think I haven't seen that thing like every fucking day of my life? Is that a cat on the shelf sleeping? No. There's no cat. Again, I'm drunk, but I'm 60% sure that the Lovecraft story is at the Mountains of Madness. Yes. But the Carpenter movie is in the Mouth of Madness, I believe. Thought Slime is too powerful to be overtaken by a mere goatsy. That's amazing that Automod recognized goatsy. Its wrap looks super comfy. It's not a wrap, it's a cardigan. It's all about the feminine penis. I don't think goatsy is a woman. If it is, it's a problem that we call him the goat man. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I've been streaming a bit longer than I typically do. We're gonna raid Lumi. She's online, or they're online, sorry. Normally they're not, and it's good to see someone who I don't raid every week. So have a good night, everybody, and be safe and be lovely to one another. When do you normally stream? Every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will see you tomorrow with a brand new Thought Slime video, as I do every week. Goodbye forever.